I am located in Corbin, Kentucky. I, along with Dick, WB2JPQ, who is located in Eden, New York, will be your net controls for this evening's East Coast Reflector TechNet. This is net number 373 on this August 11th edition. This net meets every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. East Coast time. There are multiple ways to connect to the 9050 East Coast Reflector TechNet. All connection information can be viewed at the East Coast Reflector website, eastcoastreflector.com. The purpose of this net is to promote amateur radio activity and answer technical questions. This is a team effort. No one person knows all the answers. If you have a question, this is a good time to ask it. If not, you may be able to join in and answer a question and help others. All licensed amateurs are welcome and encouraged to check in and participate in this net. This is a directed net, meaning that stations should only transmit at the direction of the net control. If you have a comment about the subject being discussed, please say comment and you will be recognized. As most of you know, we have an order that we follow. We put the control stations at the top of the net. Then we recognize any silent keys. Then we will check with Dr. Steve to see if he is with us this evening, see if he has an update on the COVID-19 and take a couple of 3 questions. Then we will take check-ins from first-time amateurs that are just recently licensed, amateurs who have just recently obtained their call sign but have never checked into the TechNet before. Then we will take check-ins from stations outside of the U.S. and Canada, better known as DX stations. Following the DX stations, we will take mobile stations. Check-ins for mobile stations only. If you are not mobile, please respect those that are. We have moved our digital stations that are on DMR, D-Star, or Yazoo System Fusion. They have been moved to the rotation, to the regular rotation each week. They will be first this week, and we will pause, give digital stations time to check in, but they will be in the rotation from now on. Following the mobile stations, we will take stations with questions or submitted questions. If you have a question and you don't want to ask it on the air, please send an email to myself, wb4ivb@hotmail.com, or Dick, wb2jpq@aol.com, and we'll get your question on the air for you. If you want to remain anonymous, that's fine too. Just let us know that. When Dick begins to take general check-ins, he will take check-ins by the number designator in your call sign. If your call is W3XYZ, then you would check in with the 3s. Makes no difference where you're physically located. We go by the number designator in your call sign. And like I just said, in the rotation, we work our Canadian friends, VEVA, and we are now going to work the digital stations into the rotation. So the call sign order for this week will be Call sign order for this week will be, it'll start with the digital stations, followed by 8, 6, 4, 0, 9, 7, 2, VEBA, 5, 1, and 3. Threes were first last week, so they go to the end of the rotation this week. Somebody want to block that Echo Link station 3001037. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started here this evening. WB2JPQ, WB4IVB. Good evening, Dick.
Good evening, Henry. Good evening, everyone. This is Dick, WB2JPQ. Oh, what do I have here tonight? I'm always looking for pictures. I'm actually out of pictures. I haven't posted for the last couple of days. I'm talking about pictures for Facebook, our Facebook page, East Coast Reflector, and our website, eastcoastreflector.com. Everybody's been pretty good over the past few months sending me pictures, but the well has dried up, so send them in. We'll get them posted. Pictures of yourself, your shack, anything amateur radio related. Just send them to me, WB2JPQ@AOL.com, and we'll get them where they need to go and get them posted. The Zoom room is alive and well here tonight. Pretty good gang in there. The information is on our website, eastcoastreflector.com, if you want to go and see what some of the crew looks like. I can give the URL out if necessary, but all the information is there on the webpage. And I just want to touch on this. We are going to start carrying the Trans-Canada net on Sunday at 1 o'clock p.m. Kevin, VE3BZ, is kind of the key point person for that. Maybe when his turn comes up, he might just want to say a few things along those lines. They've only had 3 nets, and we did participate in the second one. So I'll see everybody probably up about the top of the hour. WB4IVB from WB2JP.
Okay, thank you, Dick. And folks, don't forget to, when you're checking out the website, we have a link to PayPal for donations. Any donation that you can give will much be appreciated. Next up is Emil, WA2UPK. Good evening, Emil.
Yeah, good evening, Henry. My name is Emil, located in Englewood, Florida. It's currently about 82 degrees here, and the rain just ended, so we're have a nice evening. We usually get rain every day here. That's the rainy season here in Florida. Anyway, just again a reminder, if anybody needs Echo Link access and you're not a -L or a -R, you need to get registered, and you do that by sending me an email with your call. And my email address is wa2upk@aol.com, and we'll get you registered there. It might take a little bit. Some changes on the Echo Link portion of All-Star there and the way it's configured and so forth. So it'll all work out in a few weeks, I understand. Anyhow, that's all I have for here right now. Back to net there. WB4IVB, WA to UPK.
Okay, thanks, Emil. Thanks for all you do. How about Bob, KB3S and M?
KB3SNM, good evening, Henry. Good evening, Dick, and good evening to all. Kind of warm here in South Central PA. Have a good evening. Back to you, Henry. KB3SNM.
Okay, Bob, very good. Thanks for all you do behind the scenes. Folks, these fellows did a lot that is transparent to the everyday user. So we really appreciate them being there. How about Tony, W2KJV?
Good evening, Henry, and everyone on net. My name is Tony. I'm in Sugar Mill Woods, Florida. I have a little bit of website update to report. I deleted a broken link. Secondly, we added the welcome letter to the left bottom page of the East Coast Reflector website. So if you do not have a valid email address on QRZ, then you should take a look at the welcome letter on the website. Let's see, tonight's TechNet is currently being live streamed on YouTube. The link is on the East Coast Reflector website, on the left-hand side near the bottom. And also, we're along with that stream, we're streaming the Zoom meeting, so you can get a good look at a lot of the members. And lastly, get an update to the 2020 slideshow today, and that's on the main page of the East Coast Reflector. That's all I have this week, Henry. Back to you in the net, W2KJV.
Okay, Tony, very good. Sounds like you've been very, very busy. And folks, I say this every week, if you haven't checked out the East Coast Reflector website, you need to do so. Lots of good information. And Tony did mention the welcome letter. There is a welcome letter that's sent out. I'll let Kevin tell you more about that. But everybody needs to get their email address on QRZ. Because that's the only way we have to get in contact with you. I ran into a new ham this week. Had his call sign. He's pretty much local to me, but he did not have his email address on QRZ. So I could not send him a welcome letter. So very important. Thanks, Tony. Next up is Kevin, VE3BZ.
Hey, good evening, Henry, and everyone else on the net. Kevin here in Victoria Harbour, Ontario, which is about 80 miles north of Toronto. And had a pretty nice day today, a little windy and warm. Beautiful summer day. Anyway, like Dick mentioned, we're going to try connecting up to the Trans-Canada net on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Probably last for an hour or so. So they're going to call by call districts. They're going to start with the Canadian call districts first, and then take check-ins from anywhere else. And hopefully we'll see how it goes, and we can keep connecting up there. Anyway, that's about it from me. Back to you, Henry, VE3BZ.
Okay, Kevin, thanks for that. Well, hopefully they'll call us stateside and everyone can listen up for that, and there won't be any confusion. I know that I did get the opportunity to listen to that net, I guess, 2 weeks ago, and I know there was a lot of Canadian provinces that were called, and for a first-time net, I was really impressed with all the check-ins they had. W8NUD-R Echo Link, your node is keying up several times. You need to find out what the problem is or disconnect. Thanks again, Kevin. Next up is Paul, one of our facilitators. W4END. Are you with us, Paul?
Hey, good evening, everybody. W4END. The YSF Reflector is undergoing some changes. We got quite a bit of help coming in to make sure all this stuff working like it's supposed to. But it is up and running. YSF 92805. And thanks, Henry, for letting us connect to it. W4END.
Okay, Paul. Well, thanks for all your work on the YSF bridge. For those that might have missed it, is YSF 92805. So we appreciate that. Let's see if David is with us. KB4FXC.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. This is KB4FXC from the Wilmington, North Carolina area. Hope everyone's doing well this evening. Warm here, too. I think it's warm everywhere. Good summer afternoon. At least we don't have any thunderstorms right now. Anyhow, system updates continue to occur. There will be a number of restarts in the early morning hours. That's when I'm trying to do it when the system is mostly idle and unused. So if you get disconnected, or if your connect and disconnect messages in the early morning hours, then that's probably me working on software. We're working on getting it so that it handles the increasingly larger numbers of users, which is a great thing. So it's definitely growing by leaps and bounds. Anyway, not much else happening here. Just last week was an interesting week. We had a hurricane on Tuesday and an earthquake at the other end of the state on Sunday. So yeah, it was definitely an interesting week in North Carolina. Everyone have a wonderful night. KB4FXT back tonight.
Okay, Dave, very good. Well, we appreciate all the work you put in all the time and keeping all the bridges and everything going on the All-Star side for us. We really appreciate it. Yeah, I think 2020 is going to go down as a year that everybody can tell their grandchildren and great-grandchildren about. So it won't be forgotten for many, many years for various reasons. Thanks, David. Next up is Kevin, KE7K. Good evening, Kevin.
Hey, good evening, Henry, and everybody on the net. This is Kevin, KE7K, in Portland, Oregon. Had a little bit slower this week. Fewer new users this week, but still had quite a few. Had 18 new users, and nine of them had their emails in there. So they will get a welcome letter. If you are new to the system this week, I would encourage you, like Henry said, to get your email on QRZ. That's how we can get a hold of you. And if you do that in the next month, you will get a welcome letter. But important to have it in there regardless of whether you get the welcome letter or not. And secondly, to Tony's point, he added a link to the welcome letter that we send to all the users on the website over on the left-hand side at the bottom. So I would encourage all existing users to go read that letter to see what we're sending out to everybody, and maybe if some of those new users have questions, you'll be able to know what they're referencing and be able to answer their questions. So I think that's it. Back to you, Henry, KE7K.
And this is WB4IVB with East Coast Reflector TechNet. Okay, Kevin, thanks a lot. Thanks for all your work that you're doing with the welcome letters. Much appreciated. All right, let's see if we have any silent keys for any of those that are not familiar with the term. A silent key is an amateur radio operator that has passed. So let's see if anyone has any silent keys they would like to announce, and we'll have a moment of silence for those out of the East Coast Reflector family or close friends of those that are. Give me your call signs twice, please.
That is 2 Echo Charlie.
Yeah, that is 2 Echo Charlie. Go ahead, Tom.
Good morning to everybody from South Africa, and I had some bad news yesterday. A friend of mine, as it is 6 Charlie, Jeff Levy. He was a South African Radio League HF contest manager. Went silent key yesterday morning, and that's about it, Henry. As it is, back to mid control, as it is 2 Echo Charlie.
Okay, Tom, we're sorry to hear about Jeff. ZS6C. You had mentioned to me before that he was very active in HF. And let's see if we have any additional silent keys before we have a moment of silence. Anyone with a silent key they'd like to mention? Call signs twice, please.
Kilo Bravo 1 Papa Alpha, KB1PA.
KB1PA, go ahead.
Yes, I would like to announce silent key Larry Lazar, Kilo Sierra 4 November Bravo, KS4NB. He passed on Sunday and he was put to rest today. He was very active on Echolink. Back to net.
Okay, was that KS4NB and the name was Larry? Okay, I believe that was correct. Okay, we'll have a moment of silence out of respect for ZS6C, Jeff, and KS4NB, Larry, amateurs who have passed. Moment of silence, please. Okay, thank everyone for that. All right, let's see if Dr. Steve, W3RX, is with us this evening. And if so, I'm sure Dr. Steve will have an update on the coronavirus. W3RX, WB4IVB, you with us, Steve? Okay, nothing heard. Steve is very, very busy, and we're very, very appreciative of his time. And maybe if you're listening, Steve, and can't come to the radio, maybe you're on the phone or something, feel free to jump in any time. All right, let's see if we have any new amateurs. Amateurs who have just recently obtained their amateur license but have never checked into the TechNet before. Please give me your call sign twice, please.
GDI, K04, GDI.
All right, recognize K04 GDI. Please give us your name, location, and how long have you been licensed?
I'm in Apopka, Florida, which is right outside of Orlando, and I've had my license for about 18 hours now.
Okay, very good. Well, congratulations. I will remind you, you're on a large link system. I did not get your name if you gave it, but you need to key your mic, pause 2 seconds before you start transmitting, or we'll lose the first. Okay, get your name, please.
Mark, and I'm in Apopka, Florida, which is outside of Orlando.
Okay, very good, Mark. Congratulations on your licensing. This net meets every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. East Coast time. So be sure to join us in the future. Appreciate having you. Any other new amateurs? Amateurs who have just recently obtained their call signs but have never checked into the TechNet before. Please give me your call signs twice, please.
It's KD2 UGQ. That's KD2 UGQ. It's my first time. Name is Mike. I'm on Long Island.
Okay, very good, Mike. Are you newly licensed, or you're just saying this is the first time you've ever checked in? This segment of the net is for new amateurs. How long have you had your license?
I've had it for a couple of weeks, but this is the first time I've gotten to talk on the radio on this net. And I'm an old timer. 50 years ago I had a license, a couple of them, but this is only got back into it recently.
Okay, very good, Mike. Well, you're not alone. We have had several hams that were licensed many, many years ago. Life got in the way. They got out of amateur radio for one reason or the other, and then got back into it. So you'll be right at home on the East Coast Reflector, Mike, because you'll run into several people that have done that. Glad you got back in the hobby. Good to hear you. And this net meets every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. East Coast time. And, of course, if you're on one of the core group repeaters, it's connected 24/7. Obviously, you can jump in and talk on a reflector whenever you wish. All right, one last call for any more new amateurs who have just recently obtained their call sign but have never checked into the TechNet before. Please give me your call signs twice, please.
November 4, Charlie Yankee, KS4, CCY, Kodak, Tennessee.
Oscar Lima Romeo.
Okay, I had a double, the KN4. KN4 only, give me your call, give me your suffix, please.
CCY, Kilo, November 4, Charlie Yankee, Kodak, Tennessee.
Okay, recognize KN4CCY, and who was the other station?
Kilo Oscar 4, Echo Tango Victor, KO4ETV, Tom in Leesburg, Florida.
Alright, recognize KO4ETV. KN4CCY, good evening to you, sir. You gave us your location in Tennessee. Please give us your name and how long have you been licensed?
Delta Alpha Victor Echo. I've been licensed probably about 9 months now.
Okay, Dave. Good to have you with us. How are you getting into the system, Dave? Are you going through the Knoxville repeater?
No.
Okay, Dave. You have to. You're on a link system. You have to key the mic. Pause a second and a half to 2 seconds before you start talking. You're chopping off the first of your transmission.
Thank you very much. Still learning how to do all this. But yes, I am using that Knoxville repeater.
Okay, very good. Yeah, Steve, W4HKL. He brought that up earlier, so good deal. Glad to have you, Dave. We're here every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. East Coast time, so appreciate you being there. All right, well, KO4ETV. Good evening to you, Tom, and how long have you been licensed?
I've been licensed for a little over a month now. So I've just found out about the RLP off of our local amateur radio club about a week ago when I was mowing the clubhouse lawn. So this is actually, I've been on here on the RLP for less than 24 hours. So.
Okay, Tom. Yeah, I heard you earlier in the week. And the reason I remembered I heard you say that you went and mowed the site. Very, very good. That stuck out in my mind because that's something I have to do. One of the repeater sites. So very good. Well, I think, to the best of my knowledge, Leesburg is connected 24/7. So you've got a pipeline right into the East Coast Reflector 24/7. All right, thank you, Tom. And this is WV4IVB with East Coast Reflector TechNet. One last call for any new amateurs who have just recently obtained their call sign but have never checked into the TechNet before. Please give me your call signs twice, please.
There he goes. At control, this is Kilo November 4, India Echo Echo, KN4 IEE. The name is Gus, Golf, Uniform Sierra, Gainesville, Georgia. Good evening to the net.
Okay, recognize KN4 IEE. Good evening to you, Gus. How long have you been licensed?
Well, good evening to the net. Hope everybody's doing absolutely fantastic this Tuesday evening. We just finished a run over here on the old treadmill. Almost more of a walk, 1.5 miles in 30 minutes. Anywho, I'd actually never checked into the TechNet, so I hoped I checked in at the right time before. But I've actually been licensed for a good 2.5 years. I got my license December 2017. Back to you, sir.
Okay, Gus. Good to have you. Well, no problem. But, we take check-ins by the number designator in your call sign at a later time in the net. And the rotation changes every week. So we've got you down, but tonight you would have been 4 down from the top. 4's in the number 4 slot. So that's how we do it week to week. It rotates. Those that were first last week go to the end of the line. Everybody moves up one. Oh, good to have you with us, guys. Appreciate it. All right, let's see if we have any DX stations with us. Stations outside of the U.S. and Canada. Stations outside of the U.S. and Canada only. Call sign twice, please.
Control, Victor Kilo 2, Delta Yankee, VK2 DY.
Zulu Sierra 2 Echo, Sierra 2 Echo Charlie.
Okay, recognize that as 2EC, Tom again, and Robert, VK2DY. VK2DY, good Wednesday morning to you, Robert.
Good morning. This is Robert, Victor Kilo 2, Delta Yankee in Kellyoe Ridge, New South Wales, metropolitan Sydney. About 13 degrees Celsius, which is 55 Fahrenheit, and probably going to rain again today. We've had rain almost all winter so far. It's just been a very, very wet winter. Watching a news article on TV, and they were showing the areas of the bushfire, and they've all greened up quite nicely because of the rain. So the rain is helping repair the damage from all the bushfires. Anyway, thank you very much for taking my check-in. VK2DY, back to net.
Okay, Robert. Thanks for being there. ZS2EC. Good evening again, Tom. Sorry to hear about your friend.
ZS2 Echo Charlie, good evening, good morning from South Africa. My name is Tom, QDH Port Elizabeth, Eastern Cape of South Africa. 68 degrees Fahrenheit here, and the local time here is nearly 3 o'clock. So, yeah, I was saddened by the news that I got from a friend of mine about ZS6 Charlie, Jeff, and well, he was a good friend. So, yeah, those are one of those things in life. Back to net controls, it is 2 Echo Charlie.
Okay, thanks for being there. Let's see if we have any mobile stations. Mobile stations only. Mobile stations only. Call signs twice, please.
Kilo 5 Delta Juliet Sierra. Kilo 5 Delta Juliet Sierra. Name is Danny. Delta Alpha Norway Yankee.
AC6CG, Alpha Charlie 6, Charlie Golf, stationary mobile.
Okay, recognize AC6CG and K5DJS. K5DJS, good evening, Danny. Are you in your second home, the 18-wheeler?
Sorry about the delay there. I had my idea go off. Actually, I am located here in Massachusetts. Can't say exactly where I'm at, but yeah, I'm Expedite Mobile. Work for FedEx Custom Critical, so figured I'd dial in tonight, check everything out, see how everybody's doing, and yeah, Dick, I sent you some pictures there, so you can post them up on QRZ, or on Facebook, I'm sorry. Anyway, nothing further, back to net, K5DJS.
And this is WB4IVB with East Coast Reflector TechNet. Very good, Danny. Excellent, excellent signal into your note there. Got good connectivity, I should say. Sounds great. Excellent. Thanks for being there, Danny. Drive safe. AC6CG, good evening to you. Please give me your name and location, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Call is AC6CG, Alpha Charlie 6 Charlie Golf. Name is Dave in Fremont, and just mounted this D700 back in the car, so it was great to know that a mobile could check in, and this is my first mobile contact, so thank you very much for letting me check in.
Okay, Dave. Sounds real good. You must have done an excellent job. Sounds great. Thanks for being there. We're here every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. East Coast time. So join us whenever you can. Let's see if we have any additional mobiles. Mobile stations only. Call sign twice, please. Okay, nothing heard. And I failed to mention at the top of the net, but we are going to have a topic question. So I'll go ahead and read that. And maybe the stations that are listening that don't have a question, they can think about it or whatever. The question was submitted by Richard, KO4BRD.
We lost you, Nick. W4OE.
Yeah, KB4FXC. Looks like the network is running fine, so he may have a local issue he's working on resolving. KB4FXC.
Okay, I thought I got lost internet there for a second, but hopefully I'm back now. Stations with a question. Stations with a technical question for the East Coast Reflector TechNet. This is WE4IVB. Please give me your call signs twice, please. Any station with a question. Any station with a question. Please give me your call sign twice, please.
Net control. This is Whiskey 4 Oscar Echo in the Villages, Florida. We never did hear the question. We never did hear the question. You started and you dropped out.
All right, thank you for that, W4OE. Yeah, we have a topic question that's used during general check-ins, and thank you for that. I didn't realize it until I've got another radio over here that I was watching, and it didn't drop, so I knew I hadn't made the system. This will be during the general check-in period, and the question was submitted by Richard, KO4BRD. And Richard writes that this past weekend, the ARRL and QSO today held a virtual expo attended by over 12,000 hams. With very few exceptions, it appeared to go off well. I'm wondering how everyone felt about this event if they attended. And if not, if you did not attend, how they feel about doing a virtual event such as this in times of the lockdown. The event and all the presentations are still available online for the next 28 days for anyone who is interested in checking it out. And the website is www.QSOTODAYHAMEXPO.com. I'll say that again. www.QSO2DayHamExpo, that's all one group characters.com. That will be for the general check-in portion of the net, which will be coming up here shortly. I will ask one more time, does any station have a technical question for the net before we move on to general check-ins?
This is Kilo 1, November, Romeo Lima. Kilo 1, November, Romeo Lima. I'm wondering about the difference in flexibility between the LMR 400 and the LMR 400 Ultraflex. I know that with the Ultraflex there's a drop in efficiency, but I'm wondering about the bendability. K1 NRL, back to net.
Okay, what was your name, please?
K1 NRL. My name is Rob. I'm in Humble, Texas.
Well, control operators want to take that, who's ever hanging up the system.
Yeah, it's getting hung up from the IRLP side, from the 9050 reflector, KB4FXC.
Thank you, David. I'm sure Dick's probably taking a look at it, but I'll stand by just a second here. Okay, taken care of. Okay, sorry about that, Rob. Okay, Rob's question for the group. He's wondering about the flexibility of LMR 400 as compared to LMR Ultraflex. I guess, Rob, you're actually maybe looking for the bending radius. I would think that would be something to be on Google. You could Google it. I personally don't use LMR cable for various reasons. We won't go into that. But anybody have any information for Rob on the difference in flexibility of LMR 400 versus LMR 400 Ultraflex?
QGZ, Whiskey Bravo 2, Quebec Golf Zulu.
Okay, you're very, very noisy. Very, very noisy. But I'll try to get your call. Give it to me again, please.
Okay, KB4FXC comment.
Yeah, go ahead, David.
Yeah, WB4IVV and the net KB4FXC. As I say, the chief difference between the Ultraflex and the standard is the standard LMR 400 has a solid center conductor versus the Ultraflex having a stranded center conductor. So I mean that improves the flexibility, but I guess it depends on what the application is. Is it a bending radius question, or is it what is the application? I never use a Ultraflex in my systems. I always use just the standard LMR 400 or some knockoff of it. But of course, I'm using that for simplex systems only. But in general, it works well for that. KB4FXC back to net.
Okay, thank you, David. Rob, what is your application?
Thank you. I guess I'm mainly interested in the flexibility from a standpoint of if I use the LMR 400 with a solid core, is that basically, I would think that it's a one-time installation, install the cable, never move it again if you don't have to at all. If you have to move it only as little as possible. And I'm wondering if the LMR 400 Ultraflex would be something that would be, I hate to say portable, but something that is a little more easily moved to different applications periodically, am I just going in the complete wrong direction using LMR 400 anything for something where I might be moving it periodically? I like the low loss characteristics, but I'm concerned about moving it. I understand that there are plenty of resources on the web. I'm just not sure about that part. Thank you.
Well, most of the time, Rob, if you go to a reputable manufacturer and you look up the LMR series, they will actually give you the bending radius, the minimum maximum. And like David said, LMR 400 solids versus the Ultraflex. So I would look at the obviously if it's something you're going to be moving around constantly or quite often, let's say, I would probably go with the Ultraflex if you can take what little difference in loss there would be. But if it's an installation where you're going to put it in and leave it for quite a while, I wouldn't worry about it. That's just my personal opinion. But like I say, if you look at the specs, generally you'll have to scroll down and look under mechanical specs, and it should tell you what the bending radius is, minimum maximum.
And KB4FXC, another comment.
Yeah, go ahead, David.
Yeah, it again depends on the application. Is this HF, VHF, UHF? You know, what kind of radio system are you trying to hook up? I'll just mention I've got maybe about 150 foot of LMR 400 that I've used for field day and for portable use. You know, not the Ultraflex, the standard LMR 400, and I've used it probably for the better part of 15 years. Of course, I haven't used it in the last couple or 3 years, but it's gotten used yearly, you know, for a long period of time, and no visible signs of any kind of problem with it. You know, I take care of it obviously, but it gets, you know, installed and taken down. It's been pulled up in trees with halyards and all kinds of stuff, and it's I always when I roll it back in a spool, I keep it about a 3 foot radius. 3 foot diameter. Approximately, so I have a big spool. I don't try to roll it real tight, but it's worked just fine. It's not rigid like Heliax. I mean, Heliax is very rigid, and you know, it's kind of, you kind of just want to put it and leave it, but it's not nearly as rigid as Heliax or anything like that. But it depends on your application. I think probably if it's something you're going to move every year or two, just a standard 400 would probably work fine. KB4XC. Depending on frequency and application.
Okay, thank you, David. Well, Rob, that ought to give you a good start anyway.
I want to say thank you to the net. That is very helpful. Every person's comment is helping me make a better decision. I really do appreciate the help. K1, NRL, back to net.
Okay, I did make one comment earlier about I do not use LMR 400, and that is because of the repeater use. You have dissimilar metals, and it's fine for a station. You know, it's fine for a ham station, all the way up into UHF. But you know, not full duplex. That's what I was talking about. You never want to use the LMR 400 or any of the LMR series. It's nothing wrong with the cable itself as far as being low loss. It's just the dissimilar metals. Over time, if water migrates in, it can be a real headache with a repeater in a full duplex situation. So I want to explain my comment there. All right, any other station with question? Call sign twice, please. Okay, thank you, Rob, and thank you, David. And we'll go ahead and turn the net over to Dick for general check-ins. As I said at the top of the net, the digital stations are now in the rotation. They will be given a separate category. So let me explain this again, because digital stations will be first this evening. If you're on a digital mode, DMR, Jesus System Fusion, D-Star. Digital stations only, and you can be located anywhere. It does not matter what your call sign is. You will be added into the rotation from this week on. So Dick will start off with digital stations, followed by 8, 6, 4, 0, 9, 7, 2, VE, VA, 5, 1, and 3. WB2, JPQ. I split the nail right on the head, Dick. WB4IVB, 9 p.m.
Wow, you couldn't have done that any better, Henry. Top of the hour, right on the dot. Good evening again, everybody. This is Dick, WB2JPQ. I'll do the general check-in portion, and like Henry said, we're working the digital stations in with the call districts rather than have them up to the top of the list. We have a reason for doing that. So, any digital stations, DMR, YSF, or D-Star, please give me your call sign twice. Digital stations only.
Kilo Echo 2, Sierra Romeo. Kilo Echo 2, Sierra Romeo, C4FM.
Well, I guess you're the only one. Good evening, Ken. KE2SR recognized. Any other digital stations?
Kilo Echo 4, Golf, Juliet Golf, KE4, GJG, Richard in London, Kentucky.
Richard, we were talking about you the other day. Well, glad to hear you. We got you, KE4GJG. Anybody else on the digital side?
India Zulu.
Nothing heard. Let's move to the 8th call district, number 8.
Whiskey Bravo 8, Oscar Delta Foxtrot, WB8ODF.
Recognize Dave, WB8ODF. I guess you're alone in the 8th tonight, Dave. I didn't mention this, but get a list started. Come back around, we'll pick up the informals. If you care to comment on the question of the subject for tonight, you can do that at that time. So let's go to number 6, the 6th call district.
Kilo 6 Delta Lima Charlie. Kilo 6 Delta Lima Charlie.
Go.
November 6th, Echo Tango Alpha, N6 ETA.
Kilo India 6, Whiskey Papa Kilo.
Kilo 6 Delta Lima Charlie.
Let me grab it here a minute. I recognize K6DLC and 6ETA, KI6WPK. And I know there was another station, I believe, that ended in Echo, doubled with somebody. So who did I not acknowledge?
Kilo 6, Victor India Zulu.
And the station not acknowledged was Kilo Foxtrot 6, Oscar Juliet Echo. Kilo Foxtrot 6, Oscar Juliet Echo.
And you are so right. KF6OJE and K6KZW. So the whole list is K6DCL, K6ETA, KI6WPK, K6... I can't even read my own writing. VEZ and KF6OJE. Anybody in the 6th call district I did not acknowledge.
Delta Lima, Charlie.
Bravo Baker.
The call sign was Kilo
Chinese radio and how small they are?
Baofeng UV5R. It's I use it not as a radio. I use it as a FM radio. I listen to radio stations.
When they call me in, Bobby, after that, I've got your Silver Bullet taken apart. I'll show Tom what it looks like put together.
Yeah, the radio is actually smaller than the Raspberry Pi, Tom.
Wow. That's small. My node, the East Coast Reflectors node is disconnected from the RLP. Well, it's been on for an hour and 15. Yeah, it's been on for an hour and 10 minutes.
And that just went quiet for me, too. Are you all hearing the net? I got nothing.
I'm still learning. What else? I kind of like the virtual because I was able to hear the speaker, since I do have a hearing issue, and I didn't have to fight the people in a room to get a seat in the front so I can hear the speaker. So that was kind of nice. Like I've done at Dayton and at Pacificon. So that was kind of nice. Overall, I think it was well done. Some minor glitches. The security on their browser was conversational. I won't go in detail, but it was interesting. Matter of fact, I got one browser that's really tight down because I do a lot of stuff here, and I had to launch another browser that's not secure, so to go there. But that's about it. Other than that, that's about it. So, I did listen to the K6MD or K whatever I bought. He was talking about the Corona 19 virus, which I really did not want to listen to because we get enough of that through the news media. But he wanted me out of those speak probably about 2 or 3 minutes on ham radio. So other than that, that's my personal opinion. And thank you for inviting me. You have a great day, and I'm going through a Raspberry hotspot through All-Star K6DLC.
Redwood City. Well, nice to have you with us, and I think I saw you in the Zoom room earlier. I think I saw the call sign down there. Thanks for being there. Thanks for the update. And you didn't care if it rained. It's one for the plus side. You don't care if it rains at the virtuals. Pete, N6ETA. How's everything in your world this week?
Hot. That's how it is. It's been hot. Hiding from the heat, hiding from the virus. Watching a lot of YouTube and TV and because there's no really any place to go or anything like that. As far as the Hamfest, I did not get in on that, so I will reserve judgment on it. Since it's going to be available now for another 28 days, they say I'm going to have to give that a look somewhere along the line. But that's about all I've got to report out here. I almost thought it was going to rain here earlier while we were in the technical end of things. It's been clouded. It's clouded up, and it kind of dribbled on the awning out there. I heard a tappity, 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 but it kind of went away. And that's too bad. It really could have used some rain. Anyway, Dick, back to you. Good to talk to you, and ETF.
Thank you, Pete. It's always nice to hear you. You know that. I believe it's Bill, KI6WPK. Good evening.
Well, good evening to you, Dick. It's always good to hear you. And hi to Henry and Corbin. I grew up near Covington. This Bill in San Francisco on a sunny day. It was very nice today. Cool and nice. And yes, I spent the weekend on the virtual Ham Expo, and it was really good. A couple hiccups, but very minor, and for a first-time virtual convention, it was really good. A lot of great seminars and talks, and it's nice that we've got 29 days left to go visit the ones that we had to miss. So, yeah, I hope they do that again. Even when this stupid virus is over, it would be nice to have a virtual as well as an in-person convention for those people who can't make it. And I saved a lot of money. No plane rides to Dayton, Xenia, Ohio, and no hotel costs. But I missed being able to handle, pick up, and look at the fun gear in all the booths. And of course the flea market was always fun. So maybe next year I'll go anyway. Well, I'm just messing with an all-star node I got called a clear node from a guy who lives here in San Francisco. I'm playing around with it, trying to get it set up. And I'm currently coming in on a Shari, S-H-A-R-I node, which seems to work very well. Anyway, good to hear you. Stay safe and have fun. KI6WPK, back to net.
Thank you, Bill. Another one for the plus column on the virtual Hamfest. Thanks for your views on it as well. K6VEZ. I believe that's a new station for me. Good evening.
Good evening. The name here is Victor. The call sign you got a little bit off. It's Kilo 6 Victor India Zulu, VIZ. And my QTH is Daly City, right next to San Francisco. Just right between the last two stations. I too did have the opportunity to go to spend some time with the virtual Hamfest this weekend, and I did enjoy what it is that I saw. Learned some things that I was unaware of, and being in the working world and whatnot, I've had the chance to go to Pacificon and whatnot, but while I'm working, I doubt that I would have the opportunity to go to Dayton, and make that kind of expenditure to go out there and take care of that kind of thing. And this type of thing, is the next best thing. They did a very nice job with it. I enjoyed I enjoyed the presentations very much. there were a number of them that I missed. One thing that I would like is I noticed that going back to the website, that a lot of the presentations were just there in just the slides were there, and not a tape of the actual presentation itself. I would like to go and see a tape of the presentation, have a tape of the presentation there as well. I was hoping that that type of thing would happen. You know, the last time I checked, at least, that type of thing was not up on the website, and there's a number of them that I would like to go back to. Anyway, the radio here is a TH-72, which is my go-to radio for analog. I just like the way it feels, and I like the way it sounds. And I'm working the net through a Shari, just like the last station. And yeah, I find that it works well. I've got a couple other All-Star nodes as well that are URI based, and I think that they sound a little bit better going through the system, but they're not as easy to set up. So anyway, thank you for running the net, Dick.
Orlando.
All right, Victor, I think you stood by. You tested the timer right to the decimal point of 3 minutes. Got to remember, the system has 3-minute timeout timers on it, so reminder to all, if you set your transmitter talk DOT to 3 minutes, or just a tad less, you won't have to worry about it. I think you were winding down just as we went off, Victor. Nice to have you, and thanks for your recap as well. KF60JE, KF60JE, good evening. Oh, good evening, Dick. Thank you for running the net. This is KF60JE Ray in Spokane Valley, Washington. And not much to say tonight except everybody be safe, stay cool, stay dry. KF60JE 73. Thank you for being there, Ray. Let's go to KI6WIZ. KI6WIZ, good evening. This is WB2JPQ at the East Coast IRLP TechNet. KI6WIZ, are you still with us? Nothing heard. Let's move to our last 6 here tonight, KC6YBV, and I think you're a new call sign to me as well. Good evening. Welcome. KC6YBV, are you still with us? Well, nothing heard. Maybe they were on a system that disconnected or had to step away. All right, we got 40972 VEVA, 5, 1, and 3 left. Got a long list. So stations in the 4th call district, number 4. Please give me your call sign twice. This is WB2JPQ.
4 Bravo Romeo Delta, KO4 BRD.
N4 YXV, Kilo November 4, Yankee X-Ray Victor.
Kilo 4, Sierra Echo Delta, KK4 SED.
Kilo Oscar 4, Alpha Lima Alpha, KO4 ALA.
KO4 BMU, KO4 BMU. I forgot the GDI, Kilo Oscar 4, GDI.
Let me grab the net here for a minute. The last station, KO4, your audio is very, very, very low. Is it KO4 DBI? KO4 DBI, the last station, please.
Oscar 4, Golf, Delta, India.
Golf, Delta, India. All right. Got KO4 GDI. And KO4 BMU. KO4 ALA, KK4 SED, KN4 YXV, KO4 BRD, and I guess that was it. Any other fours that I did not acknowledge?
Number 4, Victor Foxtrot, KN4 VF.
Gene, KN4VF. All right, let's move to Zero Land. Stations in the Zero call district. Your call sign twice, please. Nothing heard from Zero Land. How about number 9, the 9th call district?
Kilo 9er, Charlie Whiskey Mike, K9 CWL.